Any words to say, bro?
He's eating. Mouthful much.
I put him on the spot there, guys. All right. I saw Tom at the back with his large camera, man. Dude, you need to come back the side, dude. I need some good pictures. I think just to give you guys some sort of feedback, since we've been running and since we last connected last year, so much has happened. Wanted to put on some of the entrepreneurs that have been supported by the John Cracknell Group Enterprise Bank. And it just so happened that it's the wrong time. I mean, CEO was meant to jump on, and his sister passed away this morning, so we had to excuse him. The other entrepreneurs on the roadshow busy doing raising capital right now beyond the lemonade stand. So there's quite a few exciting things. I think a big thing that we have seen for this year for South Africa is that relying on big institutions to raise finance or to raise capital and to get access to markets is the biggest mistake that any small business can make. And therefore, if you want to attract the big guys, you have to go out and create your own magic on the sidelines and then work backwards. So our end goal is to be acquired, for instance, by a large multinational or by a large international venture capital firm. And we've realized that the only way to do that is by finding and developing the type of pipeline that is juicy, that is solving real problems on the ground in Africa, and that has traction. I mean, when you look at the honey business that we are talking about, that has raised the most money on our platform, it's a micro business that for over a year, they were making around 2,500 Rand per month, and we've just taken them to, what is it, Leander? Just over 200,000 Rand?
Yeah. Over 200,000 Rand
in 2 months. Platform. In 2 months, and this is from people. And the big game changer here for us is that if you have a real product that people want on the ground, we will help you to access those people. And this is why the collaboration between the different companies was so critical for us. Paybook is a master in digital marketing, in making sure that they convert leads, that they convert the noise that you see on Facebook into actual buyers. And this is the sweet spot that we found there. On the hookup dinner side, as you guys would have known in the past, we are for entrepreneurs, and we stand in for finding entrepreneurs that are solving real problems and trying to help them access markets. So having created our own funding platform has changed the game altogether, because we don't have to wait for any big bank or any big institution to solve this problem for us. We take it directly to the market, and people are actually popping out money. So it's a perfect proof of concept in terms of what we are doing. And for a 4-month startup, we're already a $1 million company, and we are on our way to doing some big, amazing things. And then there's another organization called Brown Sense. Brown Sense is a buy black platform. As you guys would know, South Africa still has a big challenge around inequality, unemployment, and poverty. And unfortunately, the picture in this country is separated or goes along racial lines. The biggest demographic that has the biggest challenge is the black audience, and therefore we are trying to solve that problem so that we can have a stable country. One of the biggest challenges that we are seeing in our country right now is that because of the political landscape and the instability of what is going on, we have to solve the problems ourselves. If we are waiting for government or we are going to suffer in a major way. So one of the ways that we are doing it is to find entities that are solving the problems and helping them to access the markets that are relevant. I mean, the group that we are speaking about, Brown Sense, has over 100,000 members, and through cooperative banking structures, we are revolutionizing how a small entity is financed by a crowd and how the crowd benefits from that entity. So it's not just about giving only where you are just taking as a small business, but you must generate a return where a collective of people can benefit from the investment that they've made into your enterprise. And that is the whole objective and the ethos of why we do what we do. Over 14 countries across Africa, we are trying to replicate this model. So rest assured, the People's Fund is also coming to our city, and you guys are going to have your hands full, because we must replicate this model across the world. It's not just for South African entrepreneurs, but small businesses, small enterprises that are doing amazing and exciting things. Let us try and replicate the solutions so that we can try and make sure that we can create new jobs. We can give young people alternatives. And also, I mean, you guys in Health City would have known from insights I've shared in the past that we have similar challenges. Youth unemployment is a global phenomenon. It's not the South African problem. Opportunities in the corporate space, just in terms of companies that employ people, very limited right now. Big companies are all about efficiency. They're not about innovation or drive or creating new opportunities for small guys or for youth. So that solution can only be provided by the small guys. I think in America, Leonda, please correct me if I'm wrong here. In America, it's about 75% or 80% of jobs are created by small enterprises. In South Africa, it's 68%. What is that statistic correct?
Yeah, I think it's close. That's about 70% of jobs are actually absorbed from the economy, from this what is classed as small businesses.
Yeah, and in the UK, you guys are driving a very similar agenda, and this is why we relate so much in terms of the work that we are doing on all sides. You want to jump in there, Ross? I can talk forever, man. I love talking.
No, I think that's a perfect kind of way into our next bit, if that's okay.
Yeah.
As you know, we share the same passions and the same desires absolutely across the world. So I'm going to bring in Kirsty. There we are. Who's going to say a little bit more about the MC4C program, and then I think she's going to introduce a couple of people that are on that program, so we can find out about their businesses as well, if that's okay.
Yeah, awesome.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi. So about a year and a half, we set up as part of Hull City Council's Youth Enterprise Scheme a program called Making Changes for Careers. And the whole idea behind the program, I suppose, is to work with young people aged 16 to 29 who have an enterprising idea, a hobby, an interest in something that they may want to develop into a business and sort of explore the opportunity of self-employment. Team of business advisors that work with these young people on a one-to-one basis, helping them to research their idea, develop their business plans, apply for funding, right through to the point where, we're registering them as a business, and then ongoing support beyond that in those crucial sort of first 6 months of them being set up. I mean, we've worked with now over 80, 90 young people since we set up. And really, the interesting thing is you never know what idea is going to walk through your door. They all have very different sort of backgrounds, very different ideas that they want to explore. So it's a learning curve for us as well as advisors to sort of like steer them on the right path. And we also link in really closely with John Cracknell Youth Enterprise Bank to give them sort of like a bit of a helping hand financially to sort of get their businesses up and running as such. So we have a few of our young entrepreneurs that we've worked with today that are here, all at various stages of their businesses. Some are up and running and have been doing for months. Some are in the sort of, I'm still writing my business plan, but I know where I'm going. And others are kind of just trialing their idea a little bit. So we have a young girl called Emily Campbell. She is a qualified and trained hairdresser, been through her apprenticeship, and has decided that, you know what, I'm going to do it for myself. We also have Ben Robinson. He's been an interesting one for us as Ben, because his business is called Prehistoric Pulp, and his idea is that he wants to educate young children in the school environment about reptiles, creepy crawlies, snakes, that sort of thing. So we've had a few interesting days in the office with that. And also have a young lady called Coral, and she has well, she recently found herself being made redundant from a marketing company, and again has taken the skills and knowledge that she's learned from that and decided to channel it and do it for herself in a company called Become Marketing. But rather than me drone on about them, I'm going to pass over to them to tell you a little bit about their journey, how they got involved in the program, where they hope to go, what they hope to get out of everything.
Awesome, awesome.
Emily? You're on the spot. Hi.
Hey,
I did an apprenticeship for 2.5 years doing hairdressing, gave all my qualifications, and I left to have a baby. And then I went into doing mobile hairdressing, and I went into MC Forces and then helped me set up my own website, just waiting like some funding to help me get some products like that I need, just like hair products, straighteners, hair drying, anything that I need really. And then gradually, once I've protected all my clientele, I'm hoping to open my own salon and run that as well.
Nice.
So yeah, that's it really. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Pleased to meet you. Nice to meet you, Emily.
Nice to meet you.
Cheers, Emily. Beth?
Cheers.
Hey, like my name's Ben, and like original business, what Kirsty said, but I basically left school with absolutely nothing, like nothing, and it's like helped me so much. Like I was doing some bad stuff. So I'll write these guys out outside. You know, maybe if it's so basically, yeah. So much.
That's awesome, man.
Nice. Yeah.
And you should teach them about them.
Just like from a
Oh. Maybe people shouldn't know that.
This is one.
that's my really well.
That sounds like quite interesting. And just to touch on Emily's business, on our such a but it brings in so much money. Alebu could probably where how you can I think we have something but nobody ever takes our economy from that is an informal business and so is actually quite the radar. Yeah, actually quite in other markets that find ways to extract more value from these markets. It gives us great into how we could actually
Yeah. Point then.
And the last young person who speaks on it, Coral, who
Hey.
My name, I started because I started by with previous struggles and said he wanted to work. Realised we had profit from the very beginning, so we thought, why not? The MC4C program, Tom, he got me to
And do you have like a platform for marketing? Is it
Facebook, YouTube, or just
yeah, we do specialise in social media events. Facebook's their main platform. So yeah, we either do just one-off campaigns for them or full social media.
is this medium-sized businesses?
Most of the companies we've worked for so far have been within the food sector. Viral a couple of months ago. What should I say? A lot of work.
I ask, sorry, I run a marketing company. I found just now. So, making so much, which is actually that's where
really social media help online and make sure the businesses
that's amazing. Thank you very much. Do you want to, we've got a couple more people talk, but you guys want to we had more about the variety. I suppose an update in terms of businesses that have been running for a number of years now, and I know every year we kind of we see these familiar faces, but each year as well there's a massive amount of one that I'm a good part. But yeah, just to get you up today, we'll start with Johnny, if that's all right. And what we've been up to in the last year and where we. Hi. Hi. So just. Right. Well, a marketing communications avant-garde company. What we did to help schools to tell and a bit more tips to parents and just helping them out with all that. It's not quite. Got it's been a real
growth action. It's allowed we want to expand the business, kind of steps in place where we business and do it past year really. So good. But that's a bit.
You guys just created more jobs created. It's amazing.
Yeah, 3 times someone to join the project side of things. So myself, a bit more on today all the time. We would be stopping at that point and kind of becoming a business which stay the same size, which is great, but Brings and Nelson has allowed us to kind of have that opportunity to focus on the next steps and how we grow our business in different ways.
The question for me, how is that? We've got a lot of support for small development, support, that type of stuff. But the correlation between, or rather that work done by organizations there's a disconnect from being an enterprise that is getting so much support from and the support in the local ecosystem. Just trying to get insight from that perspective.
I think it's working because with support that we've gained as well, it's allowed and allowed us to kind of think about how we really want to grow our business. So, but now we've put ourselves into a position where we are at the stage where we know where we want to grow it. So we're kind of, although this helps us out, but now we know kind of where we're going with it. And I think it's just having lots to if you really need to. But yeah, I think it's basically just to say it really helps you start to grow and start to expand your business as well. And then I think that's where you can go for like 5-year plans around there as well really helps.
Okay.
No, I don't have a question. No. I don't have a question. To talk about
I think my grant is what I saw the last time to the youth enterprise unit, and then and then I look at and then the context in the space in terms of what is going. I look at Pomiero behind you there. He's supporting business. I don't know if you guys can see where I'm going with my statement. Everybody that is involved in the ecosystem and House City understands the frustrations of small enterprises and youth enterprises in particular. And to a certain degree, it is because they, in their own personal lives, their lives function according to that degree. And is there any correlation just in terms of that to getting the right type of business support? Or can just somebody walk out of school and start giving business advice? What is your view as an entrepreneur?
No, I 100% agree with you. I think for someone to have experience of running a business is vital, or to have experienced something beyond kind of theoretical approach, because, and I think it's really important. You're mentioning in terms of here in Holland, Enterprise Partnership, Enterprise Bank. Also, I think it applies in a school context as well. So a lot of our work in schools, you tend to find that a lot of those teachers that really get the kind of careers education, that get entrepreneurship, that get the importance of developing communication skills, and teamwork and leadership, are those that have actually been in business in some guise before they've gone into teaching. And they kind of understand that how that works. I think it's really difficult to give anyone advice. And so, for example, take from my case, I wouldn't be able to give anyone advice if I'd read 25 textbooks on how to set up a business, because it doesn't arm you with the information. We're discussing this actually on the way over in the car. It's not sometimes about making mistakes in business, but it's actually knowing that these people have and they might actually take all that happens to kind of mitigate against them in some way, and they've had to back in some way. And I think you're absolutely right there. And if you look at the MC4C team as well, I know Kirsty, I know Graham, and both have businesses going on as well. You know, and I think all of that knowledge together actually culminates in a real effective way of helping young people. Definitely.
Yeah. You know,
awesome.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, go on.
Now let's jump in on the point you just made. So unwittingly, we at the, like for example, with the People's Fund, any business that wants to go on our platform, it doesn't have to be profitable, right? It just has to have traction. And I think unwittingly, it has to do with what you just described, is that they've figured out how to deal with customers. More than having a proper business and scaling it, they figured out the hard, you know, selling and being able to deliver what you promised on. Because with Lebo, we went down with Cape Town, and we were helping some university students actually put their businesses out there. Lebo might share the link with you once it decides to work. A 2-day boot camp, right? And I wanted to interact with MC40 a little more with regards to that, because what we did is we actually, instead of teaching them in a classroom, we sent them out to go sell to customers. It was right next to a mall, and we sent them out to go sell to customers, come back with customer feedback and all of those things. It changed how they saw their businesses. So I wanted to interact with MC40 a little more and understand what's their process and how the development has gone, and what stage do they send them out into the market and that sort of thing. So we can have an understanding and see if we can share ideas around this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we're getting a little insight into that. I think it's a really, really good point, though. You know, where does that crossover and an obstacle for it as well? So we've got to work with that.
Okay, so, well, as part of our program, when people first come to us, they'll also undergo skills training alongside their one-to-one support, which is run by Mr. Boomier over there in the corner. So as you can imagine, he's very good at sort of bringing out and raising those sort of self-confidence levels, preparing them for the market, making sure that they are 100% confident in their idea and they can go out there and they can sell it. But also,
and an extremely good dancer.
Yeah, that as well. But also, we have some really good within the city. So, for example, we work really closely with a lady who part of the what we call the Trinity Market, which is not far from where we're based, and that she can really sort of like open up doors for them in terms of that first step out there, testing their products on the market, that sort of thing. But we have quite a good, strong management group structure as well. So beyond just our small team of advisors that are there to help young people, they are sort of pitch in, competent in, comfortable in, to provide opportunities to the young people, introduce them to the business world, networking events, that sort of thing. So I like to describe the program as a bit of a hand-holding process from point A to point B from when they're ready to launch. But likewise, pulling in on other resources within the city, and obviously all the contacts that Charles and Mike have built up over the years to sort of help them get that foot in the door that they might not necessarily have had originally. So.
Okay. That's actually quite interesting. Okay.
Shall I introduce Tom, the final, entrepreneur?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I think you might know him, but he's going to probably give you a little update on where he is at the moment. Hi guys.
But
Everyone, I'm a commercial. I run a commercial photography company. Well, I started a business when I was 17, and I went through the route through Charles, spotted by the youth bank myself. but I was still at college at the time, did an apprenticeship, and then I went full time 5 years ago. So I've been full time self-employed now for 5 years. And then since then, it's just been sort of concentrating, getting big contracts and whatnot. And then luckily, like, I used to be quite take any job I could. Do what I've been doing. And now, best. I had.
Chando's mic is so code level can't talk too loudly. I'll try talk on his behalf. I don't know if you can hear me, level. So whoa.
We can't hear you very well now.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That's better. Okay. Sorry, guys. So in South Africa and markets like Kenya and Nigeria, we've fallen in love with all these buzzwords that Charles hates, like entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship. It's seemingly something of a new phenomenon. So we've still got to go through a lot of pitfalls around this, understanding the concepts. But youth enterprise education is a critical component of it, and we've decided on our side as FAD to take it back to the streets. So we're busy creating content from, like when Leander was explaining about the youth camp that we did in Cape Town 2 weeks ago. We actually captured the footage of the process of how people are going through their peers with their customer interviews and their customer development. And we're using that footage for e-learning. So we're cutting it up and we're distributing it through platforms like WhatsApp. You guys, is WhatsApp big in the UK? Is it big?
Yeah.
Okay. In Africa, it's the largest distribution platform for video content. And we've been packaging solutions like that for multinationals and saying, if you want to engage young people, you've got to take it to platforms like that, because one of the biggest challenges that we have in markets like ours is access to data at a relatively affordable price point. And therefore, using a platform like WhatsApp, where it's just access to mobile and it's relatively cheap, are very, very critical if you want to run these markets. So I wanted to show you guys what is happening on that side. We're going to continue this. We've got a roadshow across the country. It ends on Friday. This noise up on my side. You guys want to say goodbye? Luanda, start with you.
Yeah, nice to meet all of you. And thanks a million for having us. Hope we can engage some more, especially and potentiality for exporting this thing we're doing with the People's Fund to other regions, and also just interacting with you more. But it's been an absolute pleasure having a conversation with all of you.
Amazing stuff you're doing that.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Just one thing I want to say just before you guys go. I just had a quick whisper in my ear that basically said that the John
Whoa! Wow. Humbled beyond measure.
Hang on, here's one. Thank you guys.
We can't hear you.
Absolutely, people.
We're losing you there, Lebo. I think I heard you. So basically, so firstly, thank you for the generosity. But the beauty of the People's Fund is that it's not a donation. So that money will find a way to find its way back to you, either in the form of honey, or we'll send some kegs of craft beer to you. If exchange controls allow, we can also give back a return. Yes. Thanks a million.
I hope the last
2018, please.
I definitely agree with that 100%. We need to it needs to happen more than just one sitting without a doubt.
Yeah. Team in Joburg, you want to say goodbye? You guys have been shy there.
Bye. We've been struggling to hear you guys. That's the problem.
No, get better data, guys. Hello, would you like to say goodbye?
I was trying to get a little bit of that stuff, and a lot of interesting things happening, and a lot of but yeah, it's always good sharing knowledge to it.
Losing you, Thank you. Thank you.
How? Rihanna, everybody's gone. Rihanna? Oh my word. Rihanna? Just kicked us out. So we got kicked out of our own video call. Got kicked out by data. Leander? So everybody else is left.
You didn't say Penny?
It was like I was cute.
You Wi-Fi.
That's us. You something. Yeah, it's got eating communicate.
You will tell her man, Papa man. They sound like commentators. Oh, as you can see, Barry over there, he's got the ball. He's running with it, he's doing absolutely.
Music playing. We are live somewhere. We are live somewhere.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Slaves were realizing over this morning.
No, you can't.
He's calling me away. He'll be hearing me.
We can't, master. We're not connected.
Hello?
Okay. This is weird.
Can you hear me now?
We're the only ones I think who can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. Like the sound just kept dying. Like from the phone was speaking and nothing was coming through.
Okay, I don't know what happened because I don't know where everyone else is again.
They actually ended the call.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, because we died long time ago. Shame. We didn't hear anything.
I see.
So,
Yeah, no, that was. I think yeah, everyone else sort of finished the call. They said their goodbyes and then yeah, they ended it.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, then it's fine. Awesome stuff.
Go.
Thanks for jumping in, though, eh?
I tried. Go. Sorry, this thing died though. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know it's all good.
Yeah.
No, it's all
Okay,
good.
cool.
Sure.
All right, chat to you soon.
Sure.
Cheers. Bye.
When
Yes, I'm just asking how.
asking for a friend.
Yes. Maybe for you.
If it's for me, it's fine. Then ask.